Candles make neat little accent pieces for terrain and miniatures, but sourcing miniature candles can be a bit of a pain. Let's see if we can make some from scratch real quick. We're starting off with a cotton swab. This is a clean one, but if you absolutely must, you can totally use a previously loved one, because we're cutting the icky bits off. The stems on some brands of swabs are pipes, but this one is solid, so I used my smallest drill bit to make a hole a couple of millimeters deep in one end. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but try to avoid drilling out through the side or into your fingers. Next, cut a piece off, drill some more, and cut some more pieces to random lengths. I prefer alternating drilling and cutting in this way because it's a lot easier to hold the longer bits while drilling, rather than cutting everything first and then drilling the tiny pieces. Once you have your pieces of stem, get some tin wire. I salvaged this from an old telephone wire. You can also strip the plastic off, but this one is so thin it's not necessary. Drip a little super glue into the hole, stick the wire in, and leave it to set. When the super glue is cured, snip the wire off. You only need a tiny bit for the wick and the flame. Repeat this a few times until you have enough candles. You can use them individually, but I like to have little clusters of them, and I'm going to set them on this objective marker base I made a while back. Put a drop of tacky glue on the base and start placing your candles. Tweezers are really useful here. You can use super glue, but tacky glue gives you more working time. Let the tacky glue cure completely. Right now the candles are looking a bit too cylindrical, so let's fix that. Get some acrylic medium. Any heavy body gel medium will work, or you could even use realistic paint. Pick up a little medium on the tip of a paintbrush and dab it on the tips of the wick to shape a little flame. To make the drippings, dab some more on the top of the candle and paint a little down on the side. You can also make a pool of wax by painting some on the base around your candles. The medium will go transparent when it dries, and that's when you can start painting it. I used ivory to base coat the candles and the pool of wax, then gave it a wash of seraphim sepia. Give the wash just enough time to dry around the wicks and paint them black. You don't need to wait until the entire piece is bone dry, as the wash will mostly run off and dry faster on these parts. When you're done, whip out the white paint and paint the wicks and the flame white, leaving just a little bit of black at the bottom. You can do a couple of coats here as we're looking for a really bright pure white. Next, dab a little yellow paint on the very top of each flame. You can also add orange and red in successive layers, but in this case I think the yellow was enough. And that's the flames done. Finally, take the ivory used for the original base coat and dab one little here and there on the wax parts to bring back some brightness. You don't need a lot, just a few spots around the top of the candles and a few high spots. Done! Of course, there are different ways to paint candles, and you could also decorate them a bit more or have fancier colored flames, but the basic construction should be the same in any case. If you are planning to add candles to plastic miniatures, you can substitute these swabs with styrene rods, which bond better to plastic using polystyrene cement. And you can use sprue glue instead of medium to make them more resistant to handling. Thank you for watching, I hope you found this video useful. If you want to see more terrain making videos, check out this playlist right here. Bye!